What's going on, and welcome back to another You Ask, We Tell, where we are taking on healthcare IT's most frequently asked questions. I'm Steve Young from Global Data Systems. We appreciate you being here with us today. And one of the most common questions, if not the most common thing that we hear almost daily, is what is the cost? The deciding factor for everything. And price is generally the final and determining factor for any purchase. So sticking to the managed services theme, we're going to answer this week's question. How much does a managed services contract cost? So obviously the price can vary a little bit. And if you take a look at our last You Ask, We Tell, we went over what that managed service contract should consist of. And based on that criteria, here are the prices of our managed services contracts. And a little bit of a disclaimer, prices can vary from MSP to MSP, but this will give you a general range on the low end and the high end, what you're going to see when you are shopping around for a managed services contract. So it starts with per desktop. And for a desktop to be supported for each individual one, it's generally $25 to $150 per machine. And that's pretty standard. Per network device, and that's switches, firewalls, and wireless access points, that's $25 to $100 per device. And going on to the more expensive pieces, a server. And per server, it's about $100 to $500 per server to support. So that's just the basic pricing guide. And what you're going to see on the low end, what you're going to see on the high end. And you might ask yourself, well, what's the difference? Well, why is someone charging $400? Why is someone charging $100 for a server? What's the difference? There are a couple different variables. And the types of tools that are used to monitor and report on each type of device is really the deciding factor. Also, is antivirus protection and patch management a part of the services or not? If backup is added, and that could be a part of the equation as well. And there are other factors such as geographical location and security monitoring. These are a number of things that can kind of keep the price moving upward. And essentially the latter can exponentially raise the cost of services based on a number of these different things that I had just mentioned. And they can kind of move them in either direction if you take one out or put one in. So that's really it. And the question that everyone seems to be asking, but no one really likes to answer it, cost. So upfront, the price and the cost, all these things are pieces that people take into account when they're actually trying to make a buying decision, especially when you're looking for a managed services contract. And we believe that you should have the information at hand to make a smart purchase. So there it is, the price of what our managed services agreement looks like and what you can expect. So that's all for this week's You Ask, We Tell. As always, we encourage you to reach out on our social media platforms below. You can always reach us at our number right here. And that is it for this week. We look forward to seeing you next week.